Hey guys, so I just wanted to talk about one of the eternal questions that you always see under every comment section and every stream that you go into, which is, how do I get better at the game? How do I improve? You know, questions like that, you see them all the time. And I'm making this video because over the summer, I sort of found a method of improvement myself that actually helped me get quite better at some of the skills that I was lacking in before. So I just wanted to share that with people, and hopefully they'll be able to apply it to themselves and maybe even find improvement much easier than before. This isn't just a video for new players. I think that even experienced players may be able to take some of the advice that I give out and may be able to apply it to their own gameplay as well. And of course, as you can see, this is going to be more of a free-form video where I'm just talking to the camera as opposed to some of my more edited content that a lot of you may be more used to. Now, to address the elephant in the room, I've seen a lot of new players who think that there's some secret way that they'll get an instant skill boost for the game and that they won't have to worry. You'll see a lot of people who will switch from mouse to tablet without really, knowing that tablet is the thing for them. You'll see people who just copy other people's areas and think that it's going to give them an instant skill boost. People who buy certain peripherals, people who use certain skins. But all of those things are really custom to you. You want to find the best fit for you, not the best fit for somebody else. There's no device, there's no skin that's going to instantly give you a skill boost or anything like that. And I want to put it in a way, what you put into the game is what you get out of the game. If you put 1,000 hours of playtime into OS, what you're going to get out is potentially 1,000 hours of skill. And there's no shortcuts to take there. There's no secret way that you're going to gain that skill otherwise. So, getting into talking about what I found out, I'm going to split this into 5 sort of separate parts, which are rules, which you can hold yourself to do while you're playing. And it'll make more sense as I explain it. So we'll start with consistency. And the rule that I've made for this is rule 1, play maps all the way through, which may seem a bit tedious, it may seem pointless, but this is one of the most major things that you can see which will help you with consistency and being able to hit certain patterns. So when you're playing a map, let's say that this is the beginning of the map, this is the end of the map. When you're playing a map, you're going through and then you miss, you retry, you go back to the beginning, you've only played this much of the map. You've only familiarized yourself with this many patterns in the map, and the ending is sort of up in the air. So across several different plays where you get to different points in the map, you're much more familiar with this sort of beginning section than you are anything else. And that's where a lot of consistency problems come with people who are retry spamming maps and doing stuff like that. By playing maps all the way through, and then playing it again if you want all the way through, regardless of where you miss, regardless of where you mess up, that's going to help you familiarize yourself with all the patterns of the map equally, and you're going to be able to apply that much more easily to other maps that you play as well. And this is advice that may seem weird, but if you take a look at some of the players that have some of the highest hits per play ratios in the game, which is total hits divided by play count, you'll see above all is Rohulk, which is insane. He has over 600 hits per play in the game, which compared to anybody else, compared to me even, like I play a lot of pretty long maps. I only have like 210 hits per play right now. But you can see, especially since Rohulk is one of the fastest improving players of all time, it really paid off. Him playing those maps and being able to get consistency early by playing them all the way through is something that can really help you out, even though it's such a simple little thing to do. Mentality is one of the most overlooked aspects when people talk about improving at the game, because it's something that's very overarching and can hold you back a lot, but it's not as tangible as being able to feel your aim, feel how fast you're tapping, something like that. It's very mental, and it's all about you, and only you are able to do something about it. So what I mean by mentality is how you think about the game while you're playing. One of the biggest things that used to hold me back was when I was playing, I would get to a hard part, I'd think, oh no, I'm definitely going to miss here, I'm so nervous, I'm about to shake, this part is so hard, how am I going to be able to do it? and then of course I would miss. And I was sort of priming myself for failure. Even though I was saying, I would say to my friends or whoever was watching me play, oh, I definitely have this. I mean, the score is easy. I'm able to hit patterns like this. I know I can. But because I didn't really believe in myself mentally, my brain was holding me back from being able to do stuff like this. And it sounds crazy. It sounds like it shouldn't be something that's possible. But if you take a look at some of the things in your past, maybe like times that you've got tilted or times that you've gotten mind blocked, you should be able to see like, oh, maybe this is something that my brain is holding me back from. And you may be able to work over a mind block, actually. You may be able to analyze yourself while you're about to get tilted and be like, this is all in my head. This is not something that's actually real. And that is what Rule 2 is. It's simply, it's all in your head. And once you're able to realize that, and once you're able to say, all right, well, since it's all, in my head, well, then I actually do believe in myself. I actually do think that I'm going to do well. And because you're in that much more positive mental state, that's going to help you out a lot. Rule 3 is please enjoy game, the famous words of Ruchi. And I say that because back years ago, I used to get very upset at the game. I used to get very upset when I was underperforming. I would, hit my keyboard, I would hit my desk, I would scream, whenever I got upset at the game. And in a lot of my streams now, very rarely I'll get that upset at anything anymore. And that's because I realize that it doesn't really matter. Nothing's that important, because each play that you get is helping you improve. Each play, you are practicing a part of a map, and that is being fed into your brain, and you can use that in the future, even if you underperform, even if you fail. It's about picking out the parts of your gameplay which are better and which are improved, instead of just focusing only on the play. It's about the bigger picture. Like, let's say that you've gotten a play that's lower accuracy than your old play, and it has many more misses or something like that. You should be able to pick that apart and think, okay, well, I actually hit this part that I always mess up on, and I got very high accuracy on the part that's very hard to get ack on. And those are two sections where you've just improved yourself much better than you were before. And you should be happy, regardless of you getting a play that may objectively, just on the surface, look worse. You have to realize you're always improving when you're playing, and keeping yourself mentally out there, keeping yourself with Rule 2 and 3, not getting upset over all these minor things which actually are helping you improve anyway, and making sure that you're always in that sort of positive headspace and not holding yourself back mentally. Those are one of the biggest things that's going to help you improve. Now for the final 2 rules, we shift to sort of gameplay oriented stuff and things like that. Rule 4 is simply go outside of your comfort zone. This is something that I very much didn't do as often before. For people who know me, I used to go very much only for FCs. I used to like to keep my number of A's extremely low, because if I couldn't do it as an FC, then what's the point of even playing a map like that? And I think that very much held me back, because I wasn't playing these maps that truly challenged me and truly was pushing myself, that much further into improving. So be sure to be playing these maps that are, hard for you, but not like so far out of your reach that you can't even comprehend what's going on. If you're able to FC 6-star maps, play 7-star maps. If you're able to FC 7-star maps, maybe even play 8-star maps, stuff like that. And there's always going to be some sort of map that will challenge you enough that you're able to push yourself to improve. Even if it's not just generally star rating, think about different aspects of the game. Maybe you know that your speed at 240 BPM is lacking, so you push yourself from playing constant 220 BPM maps to pushing 230, 240, trying to get yourself more comfortable there. Maybe you're not as comfortable with reading maps, so you start to bring the AR and the density higher. The AR lower and the density higher on sorts of maps. Ease yourself into it, but still make sure that you're being challenged in that regard and that you don't stagnate yourself as a player. That's one of the things, at least for me. I'm pretty sure most people have that figured out, but For me especially, that was something that I really needed to improve on. And rule 5 is know your limits. If you're playing so hard that you're on the brink of getting RSI, if you're playing so hard that your fingers are starting to hurt from tapping, that your wrist is starting to like tense up and burn from doing something like this, then you really need to just take a break for a minute, you know, do something else. Because that's only going to hurt you, not just as a player, but, you know, as a person who has hands. but seriously though, I mean, a burn in your muscles when you're, you know, learning stamina, when you're learning tapping, something like that is very different from pains that you feel when you're tapping. Like, that went too far, you know, sharp sort of pains like that, which actually are hurting you. So know your limits, know how far to go, but also in a general regard, especially, this is one towards new players who like to jump straight into 7-star jump maps, like to jump straight into 8-star maps that they can't even comprehend what's going on. If you are jumping into maps like that you can't even fully comprehend, then you're not going to be learning something from it. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see is they say, oh no, but you know, I'm able to get 95% FC on this 6-star farm map that I know. But are they really comprehending it? I don't know. And that's why I want to leave it to you. Is you are the best judge of yourself. You know your own limits. You know what you're able to do. You know what you're capable of. So you should be able to look at the situation and realize, okay, this isn't actually helping me improve. Let me play something else that may help me improve. And those are really the basics. I feel like I could just rattle off for like a half an hour just talking about all this stuff, you know, more deeply. I hope I presented a good understanding to everyone, but it's really, you know, these are just sort of basic things which can really help you improve at the game if you're thinking about them while you're playing. So I hope this has helped some people out. I hope that you're able to take at least something from this and apply it to your own gameplay, and you'll be able to improve. And that's really it. Oh, knew I could do it. See, dude, like, I used to not be able to even pass that, and now I'm able to FC it.